We'll start with yours now. Okay. Ma'am, principles of development. Now first we will do the question answers. That day we had discussion about the question answers parts were left now. So today we are going to do the question answer sessions. First question, this one. Which of the following is not related to principle of growth and development? First answer in form. Which of the following is not related to growth and development? Which of the following is not related to growth and development? Which of the following is not related to growth and development? Principle of why? Okay. Wait 1 minute. I'll share the link. See, listen, ma'am. Which of the following is not related to principle of growth and development? The correct answer is the one which is not related to principle of growth and development is principle of classification. Okay. See, principle of continuity. It is exactly dependent to growth and development. Okay. It is connected to growth and development. Principle of integration, because these both are relative to growth and development of a child. Understood? And principle of individuality. Each person is individual. Each individual is special in its own way. Understood not? So this speaking is exactly about principle of individuality. So principle of continuity, principle of integration, and principle of individuality. These all are the principle of growth and development. But which one is not the principle of growth and development? Principle of classification. So principle of classification is not a part of principle of growth and development. Okay. So now we'll go for the next question, second one. Come on, say the answer for the second one. What is exactly for the second answer? Scope of child psychology is study the characteristics of infancy stage only. Okay. Second one is study the characteristics of conception period only, study the characteristics of childhood only, or study the characteristics from the conception of to adolescence. This is the another stage. So you need to check which one is exactly not. The scope of child psychology is. So what is the scope of child? Hi Sakshi, what is the scope of child psychology? What is the scope of child psychology? Yes, the correct here is study the characteristics of infancy stage only. No, that is not the because infancy stage in one part where we can study. I am fine, Sakshi. Where is your Himanshu? So now look here, study the characteristics of conception period only. No, the child is exactly conceived and that time the child will be exactly having growth and development. That is also not the true part. So that's not the correct answer. Okay. So now study the characteristics of childhood only. No, only childhood is also not the part. Study the characteristics from conception to adolescence. So from the stage of conception to the stage of adolescence, the growth of the child, the mental development of the child, everything has to be perfectly monitored. So that part will be considered as adolescent one. Understood not? So that what will be considered. The scope of child psychology is considered from that stage to that stage. Okay. Very good. So now go for this one. Very good. तुम भी दुकान जाओ. So now third one, come on, go for the third question. Check what is there in the third question. The social learning theory proposed by Miller and Dollard said that people learn by watching what others do. Human thoughts process are central to understanding personality, both A and B, and none of A and B. So you need to answer this question very carefully. What actually the question is, that the social learning theory proposed by Miller and Dollard said that people learn people learn by watching what others do. Yes, 100%. We are learning. See, understand one thing. When somebody is doing something now, we are watching them and we are learning. That's one concept. Okay. So we are watching what others are doing, and based on that, we are behaving. So that's one process. Social learning theory proposer Miller and Dollard is telling that we see, we perceive, and then we do the work. Understood? Second is human thought process are central to understanding personality. Yes, every thought process are exactly taking the central tool as thought process and personality. So whatever your personality traits are, that is exactly taken, and accordingly people are behaving. Understood or not? So you need to understand this one. Which of the following is the principle of development? Come on, go for it. Which one is the principle of growth and development? मैम मैं कैसे जाऊं? Oh, which one, ma'am? Which one? Which of the following is the principle of development? Which one is exactly the part or principle of development? It is discontinuous process. No, development is a ever continuous process. Second, all process of development are not interconnected. No, all process of development are interconnected. It does not proceed at the same pace for all. Yes, it is not proceeding. See, development is not same for all. Some children, the development is occurring very fast. For some children, the development occurs very, very slow. So that rate is not same for everyone. Understood? So all the children do not get development at the main stage or the same stage. So development is not a same process or the same continuous process for every individual. It takes place stage by stage or part by part. Understood? Not for some people it will be fast, for some person it will be slow. So development cannot be said that it is going to be same. Development is always linear. No, the development can never be linear. It is a non-linear curve. It will be exactly fluctuating. Understood? Not? Sometimes the phase the development will be faster, sometimes the phase the development will be slower. So we cannot be able to guarantee that the development can be done in a steady manner. That's the most important thing. Now, Naresh and Mukesh are in the same age group. They show difference in social and mental development. It is due to which of the following? Principle of modifiability, principle of definite and predictable pattern, principle of individuality, principle of uniform pattern. Huh? Principles of The correct answer is Naresh and Mukesh are in the same age group. They show difference in social and mental development. It is due to which of the following? Principle of modifiability, principle of definite. The correct answer is principle of individuality. So actually, individually, everybody. तुम कहाँ रहती है, क्या करती है, मुझे कैसे पता? ये तुम हिमांशु से पूछो, तुम्हारे लिए एक ट्रक बना देगा, ट्रक में बैठ के जाओ उसके साथ. So now look here, it is coming as principle of individuality. ट्रक मंगाओ, ट्रक, मैं भी आऊंगी. So exactly principle of individuality. Individuality means every individual is different. Understood or not? So either it is Ramesh, Mukesh or Khushbu, all will be growing differently, and they have a different way of interaction in social media, social people, in socialites means different conditions. They have a different way of what you called different way of interaction. Understood? Growth development will also be different. So this comes under principle of individuality. Okay. So which of the following principle is not giving importance to the related factor in the environment to the child's development? Principle of uniform or pattern. The kindly check this one. This is a very important one. Say, which of the following principles is not giving importance to the related factors in the environment? Okay, to the related. उसको बोलो ट्रक भेजे. I am also coming. Huh? Again, you check one time. What is exactly in the question is, which of the following principle is not giving importance? Not giving importance. Giving importance, no. Not giving importance. Okay. To the related factors in environment to the child's development. Okay. So, what is exactly not giving importance? Okay. So, principle of uniformity of pattern, principle of social cognition, principle of continuity, principle of interrelation. So, it is about not giving it. Huh? Yes, the correct part will be social cognition. See, here now development is exactly social is one part, correct now? So what they're asking is which of the following principle is not giving importance to related factors in environment, correct now? So this is not giving importance. Principle of social cognition. लोग क्या सोचते हैं? हाँ चलूंगी. I'll come. So what people are thinking, we are not going to think. Correct now? So see, interaction with people is one of the part of development. Hmm? Staying with people is also one part of development. But what they are thinking about you should not be bothered about. Otherwise, it will affect your mental health. You're understanding? So, what they are thinking is not a part of your duty. Interaction with them, supporting them, leading a happy mental, physical life is most important. Correct now? So, if anybody is hindering that, then it is not correct. Understood? So, here, principle of social cognition is not interrelated, not important. Understood? Next, understanding the principle of a child help a teacher in what in all is exactly understanding the principle will not is exactly doing what understanding the principles of development of a child help a teacher in see understanding the principle of development of a child help a teacher in effectively catering to the different learning style of learner identifying the social status of why we are going to bothered about the social status. Anupuram Ajav. So, is total status, identifying the social status of learner. Why we are going to think about the social status of learner, correct now? So, identifying the economic background of the learner, that's also not important for a teacher. Why we are going to bothered about the social status of a person. It's not our duty now. We should not be bothered about the social status of a person. I hope you might have understood. So that's not needed. Identifying the economic background of the learner, not needed. Rationalizing why the learner out to be taught. That is one part. So best way is effectively catering to the different learning style of a learner. So we need to know about the learner, about the learning style, because our duty is not its personal. So our duty is not that one. Yes, I'm coming. You book ticket. So our duty is not doing this, that. Our duty is only one, and that is effectively catering the information that is connected to study only. Okay, study, learning, teaching, that part. Got it? So here, so understanding the principle of development of a child help a teacher in effectively catering to the different learning style of learner. Understood? So they can be able to understand that okay, I have to teach the student in this way. So finding different way to teach a learner also is one very important part. You always need to remember this one. Understood or not? See, I am teaching you, you are learning, so we both are in teaching learning process. Understand that. But one very important thing is ki in between I should know how you are learning. Correct now? In which way I should give you a perfect coaching. Correct now? So that means I should cater your understanding. I should handle the way you are learning. Got it? I am not going to check your social status. I'm not going to check your bank balance. Understand? Nothing I have to do with that. I'm not going to check that how you are going to interact with your close people and relatives. Only one thing I'm bothered about, and that is, okay, yes. So learning teaching method. So that's the most important thing. Okay. So eighth answer will be what? Study the different stages of child development. Next one is scope of study of child development is study of different stages of child development. Yes, different stages of child development we have to study. Correct na? Infancy, adolescence, different stages are there na. So that stages we have to study. That comes under psychology. Got it? So we have to study stages of different study of different stages of child development. We have to study. That's one part. Next, study of effective effects of environment on child development. Yes, how the environment is affecting a child development, that also we must study. Next, study of individual difference. Correct only, because the teacher must know that a teacher must know that how the students are exactly different from each other, and whose pace of learning is fast, whose pace of learning is slow. So that must be taught. Understood? That must be taught in the what must be taught in the class depends upon the level of student. Then only teacher can increase its level now, level of teaching. If very high level students are present in the class, teacher know that after dropping concept I can go to some high level also. Why? Because the teacher is knowing that the student can pick the content very easily. But a very what you call ups and downs are there in the class, and the students are of different category. That time the teacher will definitely be having a high blood pressure in teaching all the content. Correct na? So the teacher has to think that okay, fine, I have to start in ups and downs, high and low content. I hope you might have understood this one. So different categories are there. So definitely all of the above is the state. So this is one correct answer. Which of the following is an internal factor of child development? Intelligence, physical ability, heredity factor, all the above. Tell me which one is going to be the correct answer. Which of the following is an internal factor of child development? Internal, the most important part. Internal factor of child development. Internal factor of child development. Yes. अभी मैं शुरू कर रही हूँ. I'm going to start 12th class, maths class 12th now. 5:15 I'm starting, beta. 5:15 sharp I'm starting maths. Most important questions and some concepts I'm going to teach. So from here onwards, direct classes will be there. 8 days continuous classes will be there. Okay. 10th, what subject? For maths and science for me over, so class is not there. I'm having 12th class. Hindi class. Okay. Hmm? For Hindi. Yeah, Monday they are having Hindi class, na exams. Monday they are having Hindi. Okay, I'll inform them. Just now I'm in class. I'll inform them. No, no, no problem. I'm going to inform. I hope everybody understood this part. Going for the next concept, please. I'm coming, don't worry. So which of the following is an internal factor of child development? Intelligence is an internal factor. That's most important. Every child is intelligent in their own way, and the what you call the polishing of the concepts will increase their intelligence. That's the duty of the facilitator. The facilitator means the people who are teaching the child. Understood? So the people who are grounding the child or surrounding the child, they will be considered as the facilitators. Okay. Next is physical ability. That's a personal. Heredity is also coming under personal effect. So now, which of the following is a true statement corresponding to cephalocaudal principle of child's development? Development is from head to foot. Development is from foot to head. Development is from middle to periphery. None of this. This exactly again and again, again and again, I have discussed. Development starts from head and goes towards the foot. Understood or not? So development will start from head, and then it will be the child first understands how to balance the head, then they will be learning how to balance the other part of the body. Understood? On the basis of child psychology, which statement is appropriate? All the children are homogeneous. Some children are homogeneous, some children are unique. Every child is unique. Every child is unique. Absolutely correct. Because every child is exactly special in their own way. We cannot differentiate that this child is like that, that child is like that. Every children is unique in their own way, and a teacher must know how to teach the student individually. Means eye contact must be given. Understood or not? See, a teacher eye contact with the student result takes out the result. If a teacher is experienced, means the teacher will come to know that how much percentage the student understood. Correct now? Plus the body language of the student. Correct now? The body language of the student means if the student is very confident in understanding the concept, means the children will be exactly showing that I can understand that. Like that concept is there. When it is not coming, means the student will be showing that lack of interest. Understood not? That body language will be very like freely they'll be like, okay, that means the student is not interested in understanding the content. So 100% when a teacher is teaching in the class, the teacher has to understand what and all things are present. On the basis of child's which statement is appropriate? All children are homogeneous. All children, some children are homogeneous. Every child is unique. So every children, hi Himanshu, every child is exactly unique in its own way. Unique in its own way means they are separate. They are not same. Are you understanding? They are not same. All are different. And every individual differently is capable of doing their work in their own rate, in their own pace. Understood? I'm good. Your wife was talking to me. The central focus of child psychology is. What is the central focus of child psychology? The central focus of child psychology is good teacher, child, teacher process, school. The most important thing is the central focus is exactly on child. Understood or not? And that's what is most important, and that's what is true also. When you are in the process of teaching learning, your main focus should be only the child. You should not be diverting 1% above or below from the child. You should be understanding the level of the child. It's not like if the level of the child is ABCD, then 1 year you are only teaching ABCD. Understand or not? If the level of the child is ABCD, means pick from AB and bring to A for apple. That's called as a linear development. Understood or not? So pace by pace, step by step, standard by standard, you have to give improvement to the child. I hope you might have understood. So which of the following is an external factor of development? Economic condition, social condition, life experience, all the above. What is the external factor? That's the most important part. Which one is the external factor? External. Which one of the following is external factor of development? That must be. External factor of development. Economic condition, social condition, life experience. I'm coming to your place, Himanshu. She's cutting, she's booking ticket for me. So now look here, economic condition, social condition, life experiences. So definitely all are important. You need to understand that which of the following is external factor of development. So these are the external. Economic condition. If a good economic condition will be there, means 100% the child will be able to grow nicely. This is one part. Okay. Social condition. Social condition means surroundings, life experiences. That's also one part of learning. Okay. So we will be going for the next part. Guess's theory of maturation says that maturity of a child depends upon environment. This is first part. Second part, maturity of a child depends upon heredity of the environment. Heredity and the environment. All children mature at similar rate. Fourth is all the above. This question handled very nicely, ma'am. Okay. This question is very, very important. Most of the time, the students are doing mistake. The teachers at the time of writing CTET examination, they are searching all the above. That is not the correct answer. That's absolutely stupid answer. Ticket to reach your place, sir. So now look here. That is Guess's theory of maturation says that maturity of a child depends upon environment. No, not at all. Maturity of a child depend on its heredity and the environment. Understood? And environment. Maturity depends upon, see, heredity and environment. Both the factors are there which is responsible. So heredity and environment is one factor which is responsible for the maturation of a child. Okay, it's not only one factor. Okay, it's not one factor, it's both. So development is a sequential and slow process. Development is a sequential and slow process which among the following thinker is associated with this thought. Hmm? Did we have discussion about? Yes. Skinner, because he explained this one. That is, when we talk about development, it's a slow process. It's a slow and steady growth is going on. So now development is a never ending process. This answer you give, because this is a unique question. Which one is explaining? Development is a never ending process. Development is correlated. Development is continuous. Development flow a pattern. Development involve change. Development is continuous. So only it is called as development is a never ending process. Development is a never ending process. Okay. So now we'll go for the next one. Can you go for this one, ma'am? A mother observes that one of her twin has learned to walk faster than the other. This difference in learning is related to which principle of development? Development proceeds from head to toe. Development proceeds stage by stage. Development proceeds at different pace for different people. Development proceeds from general to specific. A different place for different people. So only though they are twins, but they will understand not. So that means what? At different pace, but it will be exactly coming in different way. Understood? हाँ हाँ टिका कटाओ टिकट मेरा मैं आ रही हूँ दोनों को मारना जो है मुझे Sita has learned to eat rice and dal with her hand by seeing another girl doing the same. Which principle of development is associated with? Principle development takes place by learning. Early development is more important than late development. Development follow a pattern. Development of individuality. Which one it is? Huh? Development takes place by learning and we learn from others. There is always a saying that when we watching others now, our learning will be fast. So when we are watching others, our rate of learning will be fast. Why is it important for the teachers to know about the various stages of child development to produce a comfortable environment for teaching and learning process? From here you are going to stay for till examination, full examination. Remember, date of examination is 9th. For 7-8 days, na, you pack your bags and stay here. Huh? School is there. Timing? Full day. I hope you might have understood. So now look here. So to know and understand the problem faced by child, to establish an effective communication with the child, which one is going to be the best one, ma'am? Why? What was the question? Why is it important for the teacher to know about the various stages of child development? Okay, now I'm getting the question. So here, to produce comfortable environment for teaching and learning process, yes, that's the most important thing, because if I'm knowing the stages means I will be able to provide a comfortable atmosphere for the student. Next, to know and understand the problem faced by the child, yes, that's also one part of child psychology which you have to undergo. To establish effective communication with the child, that's also, because communication is everything. If you have a correct communication with the child means you'll be able to understand the ups and downs and ifs and buts of the child development. Okay, which of the following is not a reason for importance of studying child psychology? It helps us in giving direction to the child to develop its skill. Come on, go for this question. How many questions are left total? Do this, ma'am. Which of the following is not a reason for the importance of studying child psychology? It helps us in giving direction to child to develop its skill. That's very important. This is very important. It's a reason. It makes us understand the causes of particular behavior of the child in response to situation, so that we can guide the child to develop properly. It's also one of the, yes. Which of the following is not a reason? This is important. This is important. It helps in understanding why children become deformed after birth. No, this is not. Understood. It helps teacher in creating an effective learning environment in the classroom. All these are a part of learning process, but that is not a part. What is exactly deformation is not in the case of learning, because outer structure only we can develop. Now, previous year CTET in 2011, this question came. Check this one. Understanding the principle of development of a child helps a teacher in identifying the economic background of the learner. Why we need an economic background of the learner? No. Rationalizing why the learner ought to be taught? No. Effective catering to the different learning style of the learner. So effectively we can handle the different learning style of the learner. That's the most important part. Okay. Next, development of concepts in development of concepts is primarily a part of intellectual development or physical development, social development or emotional development. Development of concepts. See, concept is totally related to intellectual part. Understood? Concepts means your thinking capacity, and based on that, Bihar mein kahan par? Based on that, exactly. So we are going to cater that part only, intellectual part only. So come on, go for it. The statement, an important precondition for the proper development of a child is ensuring his or her healthy physical development, may be incorrect, as development varies from individual to individual. It is true because physical development occupies the topmost place in the sequence of development. It is true because physical development is interrelated with other domains of development. Is untrue as physical development does not affect other domains of development in any way. See, you check question very, yes. It may be, see, what is the question here? The question here is the statement, an important precondition for proper development of a child. So physical condition, physical health, it is connected to physical health of a child. Physical development is interrelated with other domains of development. Correct only, na? So you need to understand one thing. If your mental health is okay, physical health will be okay. Correct, na? See, if you are healthy, healthy here means what? Physical health is a reflection of your mental status, economical status, social status, everything. Understood? Your behavior also is a reflection of how you are, what you call, grown up into which surrounding. Everything is having an impact in the teaching learning process, and everything is having an impact in the growth and development of a child. That everybody must understand. We think that the children now, they are just like a robot. You're understanding? See, sometimes we are doing a very high level of injustice to children. Why? Because we think that what we will say that child will do. You finish this work, you finish this work. We are exactly giving them orders, and we are asking them to finish that. Understood not? Maybe see, they are also human, and they can also have health problems. They can have what you call emotional misbalance also. So many factors will be there associated with that. Okay. So here, this is the most important thing is ki here, yes, it is true, because physical development is interrelated to other domains of development. So if other part is absolutely intact, physical development nobody can stop. Understand not? The person will be ever smiling, ever growing, ever glowing also. You will feel the impact of the surrounding or the internal strength in the face or the physical appearance of that person. Understood? Next question, 24th. Go for 24th question. Systematic presentation of concepts may be related with which of the following principle of development? Development leads to growth. Development proceeds from that is heteronomy to autonomy. Student develop at different rates. Development is relatively orderly. Development proceeds from heteronomy to autonomy. This is most important. Development proceeds from heteronomy to autonomy. A teacher finds that a student is facing difficulty in drawing square. He or she assures that his student would also find it difficult to draw diamond. She applies which of the following principle to arrive this assumption? Development is gradual. Check this one out. Development is gradual. Development is different for different people. Development tends to follow an orderly sequence. Development is, that is salutary. You need to check this one out. Which one is exactly the most important part? Development is gradual. See, if one part is not able to do, means another work the child will not be able to. If I'm unable to draw a circle, how can you be expecting me to make rangoli? Correct, na? So I cannot be able to draw. If I can't draw a circle, I cannot draw the other figures. Correct, na? So that means step by step, stage by stage, you will be expecting me to do something. So 100% this development is gradual. But this part gradual is not going to work here, because they are telling that after this, the other complex structure has to be drawn. So here development is different for different people. That also is a general to specific process. Development tends to follow an orderly sequence. Yes, and that's what is the correct answer. Na? Ki if I am unable to draw a square, how can I be able to draw a diamond? Not possible. Na? So that means then order is missing here. What is missing here is order is missing here. Now go for it. Question number 26. Which of these is a principle of child development? Development occurs due to interaction between maturation and experience. Development can accurately proceed pace to pace. Experiences in the soul, that is sole determination of the development. Nothing. Simple one is development occurs due to interaction between maturation and experience. This is the core concept of development. Experience is one of the most important thing. That's what we have discussed now. Change in behavior is also due to experience. Understood or not? So if somebody will, you are trying to help someone, and again that person is hurting you, that means overall you fall into one conclusion, and that conclusion is, okay, fine, I have to change myself, and that change will become the most gradual change. Now look here, match the following principles of development with their correct descriptions. Check this one out. Code is there, ma'am. Please follow the code. Yes, match the following principle of development with their correct description. Proximal will be head to toe sequence. Then cephalocaudal. No, 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 no. Proximal is progress from simple to complex. Cephalocaudal is head to toe, na? Check this one. What will be A? Proximal tends to progress from simple to complex from the center of the body to the outward. Yes, from the center of the body. So proximal tends to from the center of the body to outward. Now second, cephalocaudal. Cephalocaudal is head to sequence. So this part, wait, I'll be doing it. Answer will come automatically. Look here. First part is proximal is fourth. So when proximal is fourth, cephalocaudal is 2. First one is fully wrong. This 2 will not be answered. Now this 2 we will check. This is correct. This is correct. Now here 1313 written. So both can be answered. But here individual difference. Inter individual differences. Different children have different rates of development. And next, intra-individual difference. Intra-individual differences is in a single child, the rate of development can vary from one domain to other. It's not like the full body will have a growth at the same pace of time. It will vary. Okay. So with this, we came to, yes, ma'am, going to start maths class better. See board exam. Okay, yes, I'm going to start for 12th class because they're having board examination. From now onwards, I'll be totally with 12th class till their board exam is not going to over. Okay. Ma'am, tomorrow 1 hour, tomorrow class I'm not going to keep because tomorrow full day I have to be with class 12. Maybe, हाँ साक्षी बोलो क्या हुआ? Okay, bye. Huh? Now today I'm going to start class now. One material I have provided you beta with that. Bye Sakshi. Huh? This was